In the today's session, we are going to discuss about loop analysis. We'll take one example. With the help of this example, we'll discuss loop analysis. For the electrical network shown in below figure, determine the loop currents and all branch currents. So this is the given network. For this given network, is asking for what? Find the loop currents and find the branch currents. So first I am going to represent nodes A, B, C, D, E, F and G, H. Then I am going to represent the polarities for all the branches, circuit elements. So resistor plus minus, symbol plus minus, for all the circuit elements I represented the polarities. And from this network we can observe that there are three loops are present, that is A, B, E, F, A. First loop, that is represented by the loop current I1. Second loop, that is this one, B, C, D, E, B. This is the second loop. This second loop I represented as the loop current I2 in clockwise direction. Last one, third loop, G, H, C, B, A, G. G, H, C, B, A, G. That is represented by the loop current I3. Okay, fine. Now, as per the question, we have to find loop currents and as well as branch currents. Loop currents means how many loops are there with respect to loop currents. We have to find there are three loops in the network, so we have to find three loop currents I1, I2, I3. Then he's asking for what? Find all branch currents. So how many branches are there? With respect to branches, the respective currents we have to calculate. I mean to say that, see for example, AB is a one branch. In this branch, which current is flowing? Current I1 is also flowing, current I3 is also flowing. So likewise, you have to find branch currents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 branches are there. So we have to find 6 branch currents. First, I will take first loop A, B, E, F, A. I'm going to apply the KVL to this loop. So before applying the KVL, I represented the polarity. So in this loop, current I1 is flowing. So polarity for all the branches plus minus, plus minus, plus minus. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to apply the KVL to the mesh 1 or loop 1, that is A, B, E, F, A. So first, in this branch, current I1 is flowing of value, resistor value is 2. So the head of the arrow mark is pointing towards negative polarity, hence it becomes minus 2I1, minus 2I1. As well as in the same branch, one more current is flowing, that is I3. The arrow mark of I3 current, the head of the arrow mark of I3 current is pointing towards plus. Because of that reason, plus 2I3. Next, coming to this branch, it has value 3. The arrow mark head pointing towards negative, hence minus 3I1. As well as in the same branch, one more current is flowing, that is I2. The arrow mark of current I2 is pointing towards plus, hence it becomes plus 3I2. And coming to this branch, here the arrow mark head is pointing towards plus, hence it is plus 10. Then minus 0.2I1 is equal to 0. Okay. So we applied the KVL to the first loop. The next step is simplification. That is, observe the coefficients of I1. Here minus 2 is there, minus 3 is there, minus 0.2 is there. Now I am calculating the coefficients, adding coefficients of current I1. Minus 2, minus 3, it becomes minus 5, minus 0.2. Hence it becomes minus 5.2. Okay, here I will write. Hence we will get minus 5.2 I1. Next, coefficient of I2, only one is there, that is 3I2. And coefficient of I3, that is plus 2i3 plus 10 is equal to 0. I will take this 10 towards RHS side, hence it becomes minus 5.2i1 plus 3i2 plus 2i3 is equal to minus 10. So multiply the entire equation by minus 1, it becomes 5.2i1, it is plus is there, it becomes minus 3i2 plus 2i3 is there, it becomes minus 2i3, minus 10 is there, it becomes plus 10. Hence we got this equation 5.2i1 minus 3i2 minus 2i3 is equal to 10, equation number 1. Similarly, apply the KVL to the second loop, that is B, C, D, E, B. B, C, D, E, B. So first branch, that is I represented polarity plus minus. In this branch, two currents are flowing, that is I2 as well as I3. First I will take I2, hence the head of the arrow mark of current I2 is pointing minus. So it becomes minus 4i2 minus 4i2. The same branch, one more current is flowing, that is I3. The head of this I3 current is pointing towards plus, hence it becomes plus 4i3 plus 4i3. Coming to here, minus 0.2i2 minus 15. Next here, minus 3i2 minus 3i2. And the same branch, one more current is flowing, that is current I1. The head of the current I1 is pointing towards where? Plus, hence it becomes plus 3i1 is equal to 0. Do the simplification, rearrange the terms, and we are getting 3i1 minus 7.2i2 plus 4i3 is equal to 15. Let us represent equation number 2. Now, similarly go for loop number 3, that is G, H, C, B, A, G. Or we can take like this, A, G, H, C, B, A. So I have taken the third loop, A, G, H, C, A. Apply the KVL to this loop, that is minus I3 minus 5i3, coming to here minus 4i3 minus 5i3, next minus 4i3. Next, the same branch, one more current is flowing, that is I2. The arrow mark of current I2 is pointing towards plus, hence it becomes plus 4i2 plus 4i2. Coming to this branch, minus 2i3 minus 2i3. In the same branch, one more current is flowing, that is I1. The head of the arrow mark current I1 is pointing towards this polarity plus, hence it becomes plus 2i1, hence it becomes plus 2i1 is equal to 0. Simplify this equation and you are going to get 2i1 plus 4i2 minus 11i3 equal to 0. So let us represent as a equation number 3. So equation number 1 and 2 and 3, from these three equations we got three unknowns, that is I1, I2, I3. Here also I1, I2, I3. Here also I1, I2, I3. So let us calculate these three values. You may use a calculator, otherwise you may apply the Cramer's rule. Three unknowns are there. In the previous video already we discussed how to use the Cramer's rule. If unknowns are more, then we have to use, while calculating those unknowns, we have to make use of Cramer's rule. So first I will write the coefficients of this first row indicates the coefficients of I1, I2, I3. Okay. Similarly, second row indicates the coefficients of I1, I2, I3. Third row indicates it is the coefficients of equation number 3. First row is the coefficients of current I1, I2, I3 of equation 1. Second row is the coefficients of I1, I2, I3 of equation 2. Third is the coefficients of I1, I2, I3 of equation number 3. So after that, I1, I2, I3, then these are the constant terms. First equation has the constant term 10, second equation has 15, third equation has 0. Now find the determinant of this one. So determinant is, I indicated as a D, or you can represent it as a delta. D equal to, I will represent the sign plus minus plus, simple thing, plus 5.2, this one we are calculating, and minus 7.2 into minus 11, minus 7.2 into minus 11, minus of 4 into 4. Similarly, minus into minus, it becomes plus, plus 3. Leave this row and leave this column, and the coefficients are 3 into minus 11, 3 into minus 11, minus 4 into 2, or you can write minus 2 into 4. Last one, plus into minus, minus 2, then leave this row and leave this column, and these are the coefficients, 3 into 4, minus into minus plus, 7.2 into 2. Do the simplification and you are going to get the value d equal to 152.84. So this is the determinant of the given matrix, but we have to calculate three unknowns, I1, I2, I3. In order to calculate I1, we want d1 by d. In order to calculate d2, sorry, I2, d2 by d. In order to calculate I3, we require d3 by d. But we calculated d value, that is 152.84, but we don't know the value of d1, we don't know the value of d2, we don't know the value of d3. Then how to calculate d1, d2, d3? So d1 indicates the determinant of first determinant, second determinant, third determinant. What it means? First determinant, second and third. It means if you are replacing the first column entries by constant terms, then it will give the first determinant d1. If you are replacing the second column entries by the constant terms, then you are getting d2. Similarly, if you are replacing third column elements by constant terms, then we are getting d3. So let us see one by one. First I will calculate d1. So d1, see, this is the first column, right? 5.232, this is the first column, second column, third column. If I replace this first column elements entries by constant values means these are the constant values, 10, 15 zeros. If I replace this first column by this entry, we are getting d1. If I replace second column by this entry, we are getting d2. If you are replacing third column entries by constant terms, we are getting d3. So let's see d1. So first column elements are replaced by constant terms, 10, 15, 0. The remaining two columns as it is, minus 3, minus 7.2, 4, minus 2, 4, 11. Okay, we then do the simplification as we discussed while calculating d. Similarly, do the simplification for this one. You are getting answer d1 equal to 17. Similarly, second determinant d2. d2 means second column entries. Second column entries means minus 3, minus 7.2, 4. This is replaced by 10, 15, 0. Let's see. d2 equal to first column as it is 5.232. Second column is replaced by 10 constant elements, constant terms, 10, 15, 0. Third column remains as it is. Then do the simplification of this one. Then we are getting the answer as d2 equal to minus 388. Similarly, proceed. Perform the operation for d3, nothing but replace the third column element entries by constant terms 10, 15, 0, and do the simplification. You are getting the answer as d3 equal to minus 138. So we calculated d, d1, d2, d3. So next step is very simple, calculation of all the loop currents. So first I will calculate first loop current, I1 equal to, as I told, it is the ratio of d1 by d. d1 is calculated, that is 17, divided by d is 152.84. Do the simplification and answer is I1 equal to 0.111 amperes. Next one, calculation of second loop current, that is I2. I2 equal to d2 by d. d2 is calculated, that is minus 388 divided by 152.84. Do the simplification and answer is I2 equal to minus 2.538 amperes. Similarly, last loop current, that is I3. I3 equal to d3 by d. that is D3 is minus 138 divided by 152.84. Do the simplification. Answer is I3 equal to minus 0.902 amperes. So all these are I1, I2, I3 are loop currents. So we calculated all the loop currents. Next left with what? Calculation of branch currents. Next I am going to calculate branch currents. There are various branch currents are available for this network. First, current through the 10-volt battery. That is, I am going to represent as a I1. 10-volt battery is here. Through this battery, current I1 is flowing. Hence, the branch current flowing through the 10-volt battery is represented as a I1. I1 is already calculated. That is what? 0.11 amperes. Already calculated. Okay. Next, current through the 2 ohm resistor. Current through the 2 ohm resistor. That is this one. Through this, how many currents are flowing? Current I3 is also flowing, I1 is also flowing. So how? I3 is the head of the arrow mark of I3. This arrow market is pointing towards plus. This arrow market is pointing towards minus. Hence I3 minus I1. So the current flowing through this branch is I3 minus I1. I3 is calculated, I1 is calculated. Substitute the value of I3 and substitute the value of I1. Do the simplification, and the answer is minus 1.013 amperes. Similarly, current through 3 ohm resistor. 3 ohm resistor means here in this branch, minus I1 plus I2 is there. So we can write I2 minus I1. So we can write I2 minus I1. Do the simplification. Answer is minus 2.649 amperes. Current through the 4 ohm resistor. 4 ohm resistor means here minus I2 plus I3 is there. So we can write I3 minus I2. I3 minus I2, that is 1.63 amperes. Current through 5 ohm resistor. So which current is flowing through this branch? Only one current is flowing, that is I3 minus I3. The head of this arrow mark is pointing towards negative, hence it is minus I3. The current flowing through the 5 ohm resistor is minus I3, hence 0.902 amperes. Last one, current flowing through this battery, that is I2. I2 equal to how much? Already we calculated. I2 equal to, why it is negative? You may ask. Here, the head of the arrow mark of I1 flowing through the battery 10 volt is pointing towards positive. Because of that reason, we taken I1 plus. But in this case, the head of the arrow mark of I2 is pointing towards negative polarity. Hence, we are taking minus I2. Current flowing through the 15 volt battery is minus I2, that is equal to 2.538 amperes. Okay. So we will take one more example. This is the given network. For the circuit shown below, find the current through 30 ohm resistance using mesh analysis, or we can say loop analysis. Okay. Is asking only one current. Find this for the circuit shown below. Find the current which is flowing through 30 ohm resistance. Observe the network here. 15, 5, 5, 30. Yes. In this resistance, how much current is flowing? That one we have to calculate. So using mesh analysis, or we can say loop analysis. Let us see the network here. It has, once again, it has 3 loops. So first loop is represented by the loop current I1. Second loop is represented by the loop current I2, and last one, third loop is represented by the loop, that is I3 current. Similarly, what we discussed in the previous example, similar step. I'm going to apply the KVL to the all these 3 loops, or all these 3 meshes. First one, apply the KVL across mesh A, B, G, H, A. A, B, G, H, A. That is minus 15 I1 and minus 20 I1. In the same branch, one more current is flowing, that is I2. Hence this arrow mark is pointing towards, see, like this, pointing towards plus, hence plus 20I2. And next branch is battery. So the current I1 is flowing towards like this clockwise direction, so the head of this arrow mark is pointing towards plus, hence plus 100 is equal to 0. Do the simplification and rearrange the terms. 35I1 minus 20I2 is equal to 100. Let us represent as a equation number 2. Similarly, second loop. Anybody tell me second loop? Anybody? Minus 5I2.
5.
Anyone please, anyone. Minus 5I2. Next.
minus 30I2.
Minus 30I2. Very
Plus 30I3.
Plus 30I3. Correct. Next here.
Minus 20I2.
Minus 20I2. Correct. Next.
Plus 20I1.
Plus 20I1.
I1.
Correct. Yes, correct. So see the equation. Hence minus 5I2 minus 30I2 plus 30I3 minus 20I2 plus 20I1 equal to 0. Rearrange the terms. Do the simplification. 20I1 minus 55I2 plus 30I3 is equal to 0. Let us represent it as a equation number 2. Similarly, apply the KVL across loop 3, that is CDEFC, last loop. This one, CDEFC. Yes, tell me for this one. Minus
5I3.
Minus 5I3. Next.
Minus 100.
Minus 100. Correct. Next.
Minus 30I3.
Minus 30I3. Next.
Plus 30I2.
Plus 30I2. Okay, correct. Minus 5I3 minus 100 minus 30I3 plus 30I2 equal to 0. Do the simplification and rearrange the terms. Hence we got 30I2 minus 35I3 is equal to 100. Represent it as a equation number 3. So now I am going to represent in terms of matrix in order to calculate the unknowns I1, I2, I3. Okay, fine. So first row is the coefficients of the currents I1, I2, I3 of equation 1, and second row is the coefficients of I1, I2, I3 of equation 2. So you can observe here. So coefficients of I1 is what? 20. Coefficient of I2 is what? Minus 55. Coefficient of I3 is what? 30. So it is of equation 2. Simply go for equation 3. I1 is what? Here absent. So because of that reason I have taken 0. I2 30, I3 minus 35. Okay. Now constant terms are 100, 0, 100. Here 0 is there, 0. 100 is there, 100. So let us calculate D first. So D in the already we discussed in the previous example. So likewise we have to calculate D, and we got the answer as D equal to 21,875. Okay, 21,875. Is it necessary to calculate D1, D2 here? My question is it necessary to calculate D1, D2 here? So what is the question here in this example? Is it asking for find the current through 30 ohm resistance. So this 30 ohm resistance, how much current is flowing, that one we have to calculate. So how much current is flowing this branch? In this branch, how much current is flowing? Anybody?
I3 and I2 we have to find.
Very good. I3 and I2 we have to calculate. Nothing but minus I3 and plus I2, correct?
I2 minus I3.
Very good. I2 minus I3 is we have to calculate. So we need only current I2 and I3 is required. Is it necessary to calculate I1?
No, sir.
Not necessary. Not necessary. So because of that reason, I will not calculate determinant 1. I will not calculate determinant 1. Directly I am going to calculate determinant 2 and determinant 3. D2 is calculated by replacing second column entries by constant terms. This is replaced by constant values. Constant values are 100, 0, 100. So it becomes first column as it is 35, 20, 0. Second column is replaced by constant values, that is 100, 0, 100. Third column as it is, and do the simplification, and the answer is d2 equal to minus 35,000. Next, similarly calculate d3. d3 is calculated by replacing third column entries by constant terms. First and second column as it is, replace third column by constant terms. Hence, first column as it is, second column as it is, third column is replaced by constant 100, 0, 100. And do the simplification, you are getting the answer as minus 92,500. So next step is calculation of I2 and I3. So I2 equal to D2 by D. That is D2 is calculated, that is minus 35,000. Hence minus 35,000 divided by D is calculated. D is 21,875. Hence it becomes 21,875. Do the simplification. Answer is minus 1.6 amperes. Similarly, calculate I3. D3 by D. D3 is minus 92,500 divided by 21,875. Do the simplification. Answer is minus 4.228 amperes. But we want current flowing through the branch 30 ohm resistance. Hence, current flowing through the 30 ohm resistance is calculated as current I30 ohm, nothing but the current flowing through the 30 ohm resistance is calculated as I2 minus I3. I2 is calculated, that is minus 1.6 minus of minus 4.228, and do the simplification, and answer is I30, that is current flowing through the 30 ohm resistor is 2.628 amperes. Hence, as I2 minus I3 is positive, so current flows in the assumed direction of I2. If you are getting answer is negative, it is nothing but opposite direction. So this is about the loop analysis.